Welcome back to the Behavioral Health Queen podcast with Dr. CK as your host for Behavioral Health Talk, the space where we will talk leadership, well-being, and strategy for those guiding higher education and behavioral health organizations. I'm Dr. Taranda Knight, and today we're diving into a powerful evidence-based conversation, 4 tips to happiness as a leader. If you've ever felt the weight of burnout, if you've questioned whether happiness is even possible when you're constantly putting out fires, this episode is for you. We'll cover 4 important factors today. First, how to design your leadership ecosystem. Number 2, why protecting boundaries is non-negotiable. Number 3, simple micro well-being practices that actually work. And 4, how purposeful connections and meaning can transform your experience. And of course, this isn't just motivational fluff. I'll share recent statistics and peer reviewed research evidence from approximately the last 5 years. So you'll know this is grounded in research, not just opinion. And I will do my best to share when I'm sharing actual research versus my opinion. So, why does this matter? Let's set the stage with why this topic matters, all right? So, first, I'd like to start out with some research that was published. It's a large meta analysis published in Frontier in Psychology or Frontiers in Psychiatry during the pandemic. And they found that over half, about 52% of healthcare workers experience burnout. That's 1 in 2. So, 1 of every 2 individuals in healthcare experience burnout. Nurses and physicians had even higher rates, and the ripple effects impacted patient care, errors, and turnover. It's not just about healthcare. In higher education, a 2023 CUPA-HR survey revealed that only 58% of employees were generally satisfied with their jobs. Only. Okay, so that's about 42% of the employees that are not satisfied with their jobs. That's a sharp decline compared to pre-pandemic levels. Dissatisfaction is tied to attributions, early retirement, and leaders questioning if the work is sustainable. So when we talk about happiness, we're not talking about self-indulgence. We're talking about organizational survival and actual mission success. Now, when we think about this, let's dive into the first of our 4 tips for happiness as a leader. The first one is design your ecosystem. Leaders often try to fix themselves with more grit, more self-help books, or longer meditation apps. But the truth is, evidence shows organizational and systemic changes are just as important as individual strategies. Think of it this way. It's hard to practice mindfulness in a hurricane. Here are 3 steps you can try. First, audit your role. Make a quick list of the 6 tasks only you can do. Then ask, did this truly require my expertise or could someone else do it with guidance? That's where delegation lies. The second step is reduce low value meetings. Instead of status meetings that drain time, try a 1-page shared update. Reserve meetings for decision making or problem solving. Next, advocate for structural protection. Leaders can set norms, no meeting days, response time windows, or protected scholarship hours. These aren't luxuries, they're productivity enhancers. The research backs this up. So, a 2023 systemic review on workplace well-being interventions found that systemic changes like redesigning roles, workload adjustments, and manager training produce larger and more sustainable effects on well-being than individual alone interventions. So, the first tip is don't just fix yourself, redesign your actual ecosystem. Then take a moment right now and think about what's one meeting, one task, or one expectation you could redesign this week. Powerful, huh? Let's move on to tip 2. Build and protect boundaries. Let's move to tip 2 because boundaries are not just barriers, they're scaffolding. They hold you up so that you can lead sustainably. And here's how. Define 3 non negotiables, 3 things that you will not negotiate about regardless of. What are 3 things you absolutely must protect each week? Sleep, family dinner, 2 hours of deep work. Think about it. Put them on your calendar as immovable blocks. These are things that stay there consistently. The next thing to building and protecting boundaries is practice principled delegation. Follow the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it. Otherwise, delegate or schedule it. And when you delegate, frame it as trust, not burden. The third factor to building and protecting boundaries is use scripts to decline with clarity and kindness. Many times we have scripts that can come off being negative or unconcerning to the individuals involved, right? So here's an example of a script to decline with clarity and kindness. Well, thanks for asking. I can't take that on right now, but here's who can help. Or I can deliver this project by January 1st, 2026. Here's why this matters. Training managers to support staff mental health has measurable benefits. In 2021, review found that when managers were trained in people skills and mental health awareness, team well-being improved and turnover decreased. So boundaries aren't selfish. They model sustainability and improve team health. What's one request you wish you could say no to this week? Picture yourself using that script. Now, tip 3. Prioritize micro well-being practices. Mindfulness-based intervention, even short digital ones, have been shown to reduce burnout, stress, anxiety in clinicians and office workers alike. So studies report small to moderate improvements that add up over time. So here are 3 practices to prioritize micro well-being. First, the 2-minute reset. Try a body scan with 4 to 4 breaths. So inhale 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds, and do it before a tough meeting. Cycle that 4 times. Think about where you're feeling the anxiety or the sense of discomfort at in your body. Maybe it's tension in your back. Maybe it's a headache trying to come. Maybe it's pressure behind your eyes. Maybe the bottom of your feet are cramping. But focus on that. The second thing is the one small win log. So the first thing to prioritize a micro well-being is the 2-minute reset. The second one is the one small win log. So every day, write down one specific accomplishment. Positive psychology research shows that boosts resilience and persistence. Or maybe you're not someone that finds the need to have to write it. Maybe you can say it into your notes, speak it, or speak it to someone else. The third thing is micro movement breaks. Every 90 minutes, stand, stretch, walk for 2 minutes. Research shows movement breaks reduce fatigue and cognitive slips. Let's try one together. If you're not driving, take a deep breath in for your 4, hold for 1, then exhale for 4. Notice your shoulders drop. That's a reset you can use anywhere. Now, let's look at our final tip. Grow purposeful connection and meaning. Happiness isn't just about less stress. It's about more connection. So first, start meetings with a human check-in. Ask a quick question like, what's one small win this week? 6 minutes of connection shifts the tone of an entire meeting. The second thing is micro mentorship. Offer a 20-minute monthly mentoring block. Small, repeated contacts matter more than rare, long sessions. Third, anchor work and impact. Share one real student or client success story in staff meetings. Remind people why the work matters. Evidence shows that organizational interventions that foster connection and purpose lead to better staff well-being and retention. In fact, investing in employee mental health often produces a positive return on investment. So connections isn't just nice to have, it's an economic and cultural necessity. So let's take a recap these 4 tips to happiness as a leader in higher education and behavioral health, or maybe you're from some other area of leadership. Design your ecosystem. Change the system, not just yourself. Secondly, protect your boundaries. Set non-negotiables and scripts that kind of elevates that aspect of saying no. Third, use micro practices like resets, wins, and movement to help keep you rooted in that physical and behavioral health well-being. And finally, grow connections and meaning through rituals, mentoring, and impact stories. If you want a one-page worksheet with these exercises and scripts, check the actual show notes. I'll place it there for you. Or if you are unable to find it, you can always visit my website, www.virtuallyrenownedconsultingaccessllc.org. Scroll down to the bottom. You'll see a little form embedded into that page. If you fill that form out and put in the comments that you would like the worksheets, I will share them with you. And I love to hear from you. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram, but most of my engaging information is on TikTok, so definitely go there and follow. Which of these tips will you try this week? Send me a message or share this episode with a colleague who could remind me that happiness is possible, even in demanding roles. Make sure you follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And go to my website and definitely send that contact form so that you can have up to date on the releases of my articles and blogs and access to those so that you can read for cool tips and tools. And if you want the full experience, schedule your coaching or consulting session today on an individual basis, or if you feel like you would like for me to work with your team. However, I'm Dr. Tarina Knight, CEO and founder of Virtually Renowned Consulting Access LLC, consultant and coach. And thanks for spending time with me today. Once again, this is the Behavioral Health Queen podcast. And until next time, let's lead with peace, purpose,